Okay, kumaga misseva chigmin misseva bet nustame kuma kabagit nga tegen na hutbat muna kabet tamago wotagoche tabiach Muskegowuk tuskone kitege yan mochigate magana na hogewana tabiskut kaito chigate gabat zone kitege eho ego hottoge wana kagana obastama kanwi hotama chigi beite nisetotamik tani rochigate kiyottino kitege egunistega 가bat 해스트거나 하는지 노드스타즈 가bat 손을 hitте 해지기는 아토비스킨 제가 택단데 에시니직 구야시시미노 기타스키노 나 그게 관에 베스케스 좀 짜이서 제가 택지기 베이테 네스도타미 마가는 좀 미네가 베스트 바츠만 그 베타노 기타 바츠만 지기 놓다미 안에 쪼땡이 오겠지만 지기 베치에 했다지 않으면 못하는 나 그게 관아 und ich denke, du sage ich, ich doch die Kopane, irgendwie nicht so gesehen, dass ich nicht der Beste, wie ich da mal hergegangen bin. Meine Gott, gegangen sein muss, ich komme, gar besser mach Moschak. Und ich denke, ich tatsächlich, getut dem noch zu bekommen, gar wisst ihr noch, ja, mit der Tage noch, ich komme, Ring of Fire, ich komme, ich habe geht dabei zum Mut, geht dabei, der Tag ist zu mir, dabei zum Mut, dann in Arbeit, wieder in die Tege. Minuuttage gani gumagama otsetna noh kamone hesunyani wetsik missebugo aski hahtse banjaga diittehe kes tiistaaneks truanoittehe egani mina pisiski tattaako bahak tsuyan mutta kustinega kabetsi mehtaganus kabetaisa kaiskohtaisa. Well, good afternoon, James.
Good afternoon, George.
How are you today, sir?
I'm feeling well.
That's good to hear. So, welcome to our show.
Thank you.
So first of all, maybe what you can do is introduce yourself, how much money you have in your account. That's private. Yeah, so introduce yourself. Let us know what you do with the organization.
Yeah.
And then from there, we can talk about your trip you did to in the summertime with one of our colleagues and friend from Attawapiskat. You can go ahead, tell us.
Okay. I'm James Tegler. I'm working in a position that they call the Senior Environmental Coordinator. The Senior Environmental Coordinator here is a position supported by the Ontario Ministry of Mines, and it most importantly, I guess, is a liaison between the situation in the Ring of Fire, which presently consists of all-weather roads, and the Muskegowuk people. There's a couple of things I wanted to talk about today. One was something that's been on my mind is working on the Lac-Trisaki River with Robbie Kustashin from Attawapiskat last summer. He and I went up and sampled some fish to test for mercury, to just check the mercury levels in those brook trout that we caught. We ended up in a few days, I think he took home 80 brook trout and 3 pike. I only need a small piece of the fish for sampling that I sent to the lab for mercury analysis. And those trout, strangely, the mercury levels were very, very low. And I say strangely because there have been about, maybe in the whole of Northern Ontario, there's been maybe 5,000 fish sampled over the last 25 years and checked for mercury. And so there is somewhat of an idea of what a normal level is for a brook trout versus a walleye versus a pike, because they're all a bit different. And the levels for these brook trout seemed like they were lower than I expected. So I would like to confirm that. And at the time, Robbie suggested the trip we did by boat was quite difficult because you're dealing with very, very shallow water as we went up the coast there of the bay, James Bay, and very shallow in the mouth of the river where we camped. And you can see the camp. This is the location where we camped right on the screen behind me. And he suggested at that time that it would be easier to go back there in the winter and sample the fish then. And I've thought about that since, and we decided that the budget from Department of Fisheries and Oceans will support a second trip up to Attawapiskat, and I have that planned for the 3rd week of February. I'm going to go up there. It will just be a few days on the land because the There's lots of brook trout in that river, and I only need a sample of about size of about 30 fish to, again, check for mercury, just to confirm the results I got last summer. And, Robbie is expecting me, and he's going to rent me a skidoo, and he and I are going to go up. He has a cabin up there, about 20 miles south of the river, and we'll stay in the cabin and just go up to the river and sample fish during the day. Yeah, that's so that was one. That's one project I have on the go. The I guess second thing that really comes to mind is the Ring of Fire itself, which I wanted to give a status update. And the Ring of Fire, as you probably know, is down just about 500 kilometers northeast of Thunder Bay. So Thunder Bay is kind of where I'm sitting in my chair, and they're talking right now in the Ring of Fire with building roads that would be all-weather roads. So the blue you can see there is a section that Martin Falls is calling the Martin Falls Community Access Road. And then the second most advanced project is the third portion, which is the yellow here. It's the Webakwe, what are they calling it now? I'm trying to think. My brain isn't working. It's a Webakwe Economic Development Project, as Webakwe calls it. And then there would be a joining road right here, linking road, that is called the Northern Road Link. And it's a couple of years behind in terms of studies right now that would allow the road construction to begin. But it's this purple section right here you can see on the map. And just to give you some idea of scale, this first, the blue portion is, that's about 180 kilometers long, or maybe 190 kilometers long. I know it's not quite, I look at this map and I guess I'm too familiar with the subject matter, that there's a little bend in the blue portion of the road that there was a choice made to, sorry, got to shrink it. Yeah, sorry, I'm getting too close to the road. In this portion right here, the road is proceeding to the right rather than going around that long bend. And that was just a decision the community made, that they didn't want to drive an extra 20 kilometers every time they wanted to drive down south. They wanted a shorter distance to drive. And the choice was of this longer course was one of cost effectiveness that the engineers wanted to do, that they wanted to design the road such that it would go onto an esker. And the residents of Martin Falls said, well, like the esker is an important ecological kind of exception that a lot of animals use. And we would think that it would be better for the terrain, and certainly better for us driving our cars. And basically you're sort of building a road on less environment if you make a shorter section of road to cut across that U-shaped portion you see there. But the end purpose is, as far as the communities are concerned, is to have access to the south. The government sees it as an economic possibility because they can sort of justify spending what I think they're talking will be about $3 billion on this road, which will, in the end, all three sections, it'll total about 480 kilometers. So it's quite long. Distance from Ottawa to Toronto, let's say, which gives you an idea of how long that is. So it's a very long section of road. And they can justify it because they'll get remuneration from, that's a big word, they'll get taxes back from the mines that are sort of planned to come into play in the next 15 years, 10 years. Maybe we'll see some actual mining going on there. And the status right now is that the environmental assessments have been done for the lower section, the blue, the northern section. The yellow have completed they're just coming out with their final drafts of the environmental assessments. They've been receiving comments and that kind of thing. Mushkegowuk submitted 20 pages of comments, I think, on the northern section, and closer to 35 pages of comments on the southern section. And those are included in the final draft, or addressed in the final draft anyways. And that should be coming out. I think February 20th is the date that's been announced for the Martin Falls portion, and for the northern portion, it'll probably be a couple of months after that we'll see the final draft of or final version rather of the environmental assessment come out. Yeah. I guess the point I sought to sort of hammer into place on my comments on the roads was that they put as much mitigation as possible. Mitigation, I mean, means consideration for the animals or the environment. I mean, not just animals, but also the birds and that kind of thing. I guess birds are animals. But for the birds and the fishes and the turtles and the frogs. And there are ways that they can lessen the road's impact on those species. And many of my comments spoke to that they do as much of this environmental conservation work as possible. And I think we'll see what we see in the final version of the environmental assessment that comes out. I guess the other thing that I wanted to go on to talking about is kind of related to the Ring of Fire, and that is an upcoming trip. It's March 1st to 4th. There'll be an event in Toronto, which is very familiar to me now. This will be my third trip to this particular gathering. It's called PDAC is the acronym, short form, and PDAC, the acronym stands for the Prospectors and Developers Association of Canada. And if you're like me, you would say, well, the prospectors of developers of, like, what does it mean? And it turns out that PDAC is really significant because it's the largest annual conference of miners in the world. There's a larger one than that, but it only takes place every 4 years. That's in Las Vegas. But every year in Toronto, these miners, I think there's about 40,000 now, get together, and they try and sell each other equipment and ideas, and it's quite the event. There was and the Ring of Fire is very much discussed there as a potential. And this year, and when I say as a potential, it's because it is discussed a lot, but nothing has really been done yet. There's been a little bit of, I guess, exploration drilling in that part of Ontario. And so they're pretty sure that there are a lot of worthwhile metals there. But as far as construction of the road, which is my present concern, there hasn't been too much go on. There is going to be a start this summer, and I know I'm waiting for some engineers in Thunder Bay that are they're starting to upgrade the roads that will lead up to the road where they start the brand new road. But these roads here are very much those sort of logging roads in kind of a degraded condition, and they're not the kind of roads that you would want to run. I think they figure there'll be a couple of hundred vehicles a day, 250 vehicles a day on that road once these northern roads are built. And there's no way the southern roads are made for that kind of traffic. The curves are too tight and the roads are too narrow, and the culverts are inappropriately placed and not reinforced enough to handle heavy traffic. So this summer, the engineers in Thunder Bay tell me they'll be upgrading that southernmost portion of existing roads, the forestry roads that are there.
Well, that's good. There's a lot of information, a lot of stuff happening in terms of that, and it's good to actually go attend these kind of things in terms of our future. Yes. What's there for our future, in terms of that. It's an opportunity for our First Nation people to see what they can get out of the all this development.
Yeah.
What they can protect, what they can actually give to get something out of it, right?
Yes.
That's right. And you hear that a lot at these exhibitions, because a lot of it is it's not only non-native people that actually concentrates on the mining stuff. It's also indigenous.
Yep.
They talk about engagement, the indigenous engagements during this PDAC week, right?
Yeah.
And there's an option for you to go listen, what's offered or what's happening, and we're all on the same page, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, it's a really. I mean, maybe it seems kind of nerdy to be excited about going, but there really are a lot of important indigenous players there, and from everybody from Indigenous Community Engagement is an organization run out of Webequie by a guy named Michael Fox. That I always laugh at his corporation. It's got the acronym ICE, and I'm thinking these days he's probably not very happy about that he's associated with ICE. Yeah. But he's there. As you say, there are First Nations that are very much involved in development, like the Crawford Nickel Mine, or the Sandy Falls, let's say, power dams, which, I really think we should understand that's related to resource development. That when I always laugh when someone tells me that a home or a new dam in far northern Ontario provides enough power for 250,000 homes. I think 250,000 homes. Where are the houses?
Yeah, exactly.
We're talking about Aurelia. We're not talking about Northern Ontario.
Yeah.
And so that power is probably a lot of it is going either south or else to mining developments. I've been one of the areas I've been trying to figure out is exactly how much power a mine uses in terms of how many homes does that represent their electricity. Are they using the electricity that would power 500 homes or 1,000 homes or 20,000 homes? I don't know. That's something I have yet to figure out.
Yes, and so we attend a lot of these things, not just because to go say we're going to develop in your area. It's more like gathering information to listen, stuff like that, just because a lot of people attend these kind of, like the exhibitions or whatever, this kind of things. Uh-huh. And you go on behalf of First Nations and stuff like that, communities. Yes. That doesn't mean it's going to be, they're going to go there, do this, do that. It's not that, right? At the end of the day, it's all about what people will say, like an engagement in their communities, right?
Yeah.
Even though you went to, like this kind of exhibitions like the PDAC.
Yeah.
It's all about mining, right?
Yeah, PDAC is.
It's mining, right? And just because Muskegowuk attends to that doesn't mean, they're going to go there to talk about our communities. No, it's not that, right?
No.
No, it's not that.
We try to represent, and I think there's been a great shift. I think there is becoming a great shift that the government doesn't have the right to do whatever it wants on lands that are occupied by Indigenous. And the lands are not, George Peary, and I hate to mention someone's name like that, but he referred to Northwest Ontario as being, vacant land, as empty land. And that's very offensive to people who live there and hunt there and have their trap lines there. And he's basically saying we can just go in and do whatever we want, you feel like. Now, I'm sure he's not, and he's going to chew me out for saying that he said that. But the mindset has changed such that there are people, Wailu is a good example of a mining company that understands that it's all about what the local inhabitants, the Indigenous, want to see happen. What development are they comfortable with? And as they've expressed, they're very much concerned with the environment, and they don't want, necessarily these giant open pit mines that are going to cause, widespread devastation. We see pictures from other parts of the world that have less stringent mining regulations, and the land is very much damaged and destroyed, and there's, great disasters as tailing dams fail and floods happen and that kind of thing. I guess it's not just in other parts of the world that it's happened. In British Columbia recently, where they had a tailings dam break. Anyways,
yes.
I mean, it's not conservation is not 100%. I kind of see your point, but the development is to be indigenous led. Mm-hmm. It's not to be do what you want, and it's great to see things shifting that way.
Yeah, and the thing is too, attendance I think is very, very important in the communities. You have a major project they're talking about, and you have 20, 30 people show up when you're a 3,000 members.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I find that attendance is like very low.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, everything's done. It's a go.
Yeah.
It's a green light. Next thing you know, we have people that want to say something.
Yes.
It's too late.
Yeah.
But they had an opportunity to come and listen and voice your concern and stuff like that. And I think that's very, very important as well. Another thing I find that they need to actually think about is the future of their children, their grandkids or stuff like that.
Yeah.
What are they going to live on? What are they going to survive on?
Yeah.
For the future coming.
Yeah. It's but I mean, there's still a lot of concern for the environment that is, I don't think, found in Toronto. And so people of Martin Falls are very, very skeptical when somebody from Toronto, I guess, I really thought it was funny. I don't even remember who told me, but they said that a mining representative came to one of those meetings you were talking about, and he was talking about the mine going in, and he, in an attempt to sort of convince people to accept the mine, he made the gesture, you rub your fingers together to indicate there's money to be made. And I can't remember who told me this, but they said that was so offensive to people who actually live there. They were like, this is not about making money. We don't want, you to rip up the ground to make money. That's not what this is about. It's about having a happy livelihood for us and not causing damage to the environment that is,
Yeah, that's true. True. Well said. Yeah. So in terms of that, engagement-wise is you need to tackle like the whole level of ages, right? Who's our next? Who's our next leaders? Maybe tackle those ones to see what they want to do for their future. What are they going to school for? You go home, you got no job for the next 5 years.
Yeah.
Next 10 years.
Yeah.
And to think of that, and you actually, I don't know if it's my mind, but maybe you wasted $120,000 on school.
Yeah.
You should have did something different. I don't know, stuff like that.
Like
I always wonder if they actually think about the amount of money that's utilized for students to go to school but have no jobs to go home to.
Yeah. Well, if, a lot of times you have become educated as, an accountant, or you want to become a health professional and that kind of stuff. But you need to work in a facility, and where is that facility? It's not in your home community, because the home community is not, as you say, you have to kind of have a balanced approach to development.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So with all these things happening, there's going to be a lot coming. And when you think about all the tariffs that's happening here and there, everybody's after each other, every country, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And we got to look at where we stand in terms of Canada itself. Not only Canada, as Aboriginal people as well, because we don't have much resources in terms of, compared to Canada, that's meaning they got more power, they got more money than we do.
Okay. In terms of resources, you mean in terms of power?
Yeah, exactly. That's right. So now the things like that is, okay, now where do we stand? What do we do? How do we proceed? How do we actually, how do we proceed, meaning that what are we going to do for the future is what I'm trying to say too, right?
There's, you keep reminding me that I wanted to mention there's a conference this week happening right here in Timmins. It actually starts tomorrow. Mm-hmm. It's called ASCII Mamo Hitawin.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right.
And it does address very much, it fits in with what we've been talking about in the sense that it's all about young people and some elders. And to answer the question, what do we want? How do we want the future to go? What future do we foresee? How can we create this future? How can we best create this future? Mm-hmm. And it should be a very, very interesting conference. And as I say, space is rented. And I was actually carrying boxes of materials and that today myself for that conference. I'm looking forward to starting it, or it's starting rather. And I'll be speaking there on, I think on the Wednesday. I'll be Wednesday afternoon, I think is my time. I'll be working with another woman on that afternoon schedule. Yeah.
Well, very interesting. That's good that even all these stuff we do in terms of our fish, it is really important. We need to know as well, right?
Yeah.
What kind of, how much, how many.
Yeah.
Stuff like that on fish, mercury, stuff like that in terms of that.
One kind of point I wanted to make, I guess, I don't know if people appreciate it, is that the mercury issue in the fishes is somewhat worldwide. It seems to be it's a terrestrial thing. So you just get it in fresh water. It's not so much in the ocean, but it's not something that is only here. It also exists in Louisiana, and I sort of did some research to find mercury levels in fishes in other parts of the world, or other parts of North America, and one of the reasons it's such a big concern for particularly the coastal communities is that we eat a lot of fish, a lot of wild-caught fish. And so if you're from Toronto and you don't eat a lot of wild-caught fish from fresh water, it isn't so much of a concern for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, for sure. So you're going up again. That's going to be another study, which is...
Yes. Yeah. This time it'll be on snowmobiles, and we'll just look to get another 30 samples, and I'm interested in seeing what the lab produces as results for that. I'm going to write both the summer sampling and the winter sampling into a report that will be coming out in maybe 6 months. We'll see the report.
Well, thank you again. So in terms of that, I think that's good for our show. Got a lot of information from James. Thank you again, and we'll take it again from here. Next time we have a show, we'll talk about your experience at the PDAC and also with the Robbie, stuff like that.
Okay.
All right?
Thanks.
Okay, thanks.
Hey, Rich.
Okay, kitsimi guys, Mr. Agi, Dr. Megodi, Tekian, Motsati, Goma, Nagiskasi, Mr. Megodi, Lastik, Tatutsagati, Chamotsit, Nano, Hoti, Timmins, Ontario, Eskimamo, Hitun, Tsagati, Vanagimatsapan, Guapa, Pinisa, Nishin, Tibatisage. Migo Sabogit, no, Mr. Tehagi, Betin, Dr. Megoma, Migo Sinsnetagi, Betim, Hetago, James, Yalmota, Hivanagate, Technican, Teke. Time cigarette now, maybe assuming about we put away my long with the winner. One moment to discuss it. Mascot Takache, but a strati, Gomagimo, Cheduchik, a schema Mohotunomagastic. But taking George Nakogee is to make Miguel Stagi, Mr. Ron. So have a good day, good afternoon.